So today is Tuesday and we are talking all things composting with Shelley from Diversion Green, and we want to share with you some top tips about what you can do if you live in an apartment. So Shelley, tell us what you can do, because most people think that they can't do anything if they're in an apartment.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think there's lots of things you can do if you live in an apartment. I suppose firstly you need to have an interest and want to compost. So my top 5 things that you could do as an apartment dweller is you could go live if you wanted, and you could invest in a small wormery that could live in your kitchen or on your balcony if you happen to have one. And then you'll have a buy waste product from this that you would need to give to somebody else or to share to a local allotment. And number 2, I think you could practice some guerrilla composting. And what I mean by that is you have all your natural green and browns like peelings and tea and coffee. When you're out and about in woodlands, you can just place little bits around, or if there's a small garden close to your apartment. A lot of people who live in cities do practice this, but you have to be careful about it. And so number 3, I think you could invest in the bokashi, which is a bin that breaks down all your peelings and all your coffee grounds and tea bags, and you get a liquid at the end of it. So you'd also need to find a home for that. You could get in contact with your local allotments or some family member who happens to have a big garden. And also, if you're living in an apartment and you actually don't have a brown bin, you could maybe get a group of the residents together to lobby your management company to get your building a brown bin. So that would be a great way to remove the food waste from your home. And when things sort of settle down, you could also connect with ShareWaste.ie. They will put you in contact with people who will collect your food waste or your garden, your kitchen green and browns. So there's 5 different things you can do there. So yeah, that's my 5 top tips for apartment dwellers.
Wow, that's really good. So tell me more about a bokashi bin. I've heard about these, but I don't have one because I'm lucky enough to have a compost heap. But yeah, so how does it work?
So how it works is it's like a small caddy bin, and you would place all your peelings in it, and it's in a small enclosed system, and eventually sort of breaks down, but you do get a brown liquid of it. So when it all breaks down smaller, you have to pour the liquid elsewhere. A lot of people might use it to pour in their plants around their apartment, or they might give it to somebody else who has a garden or a nursery, or else, and you can share it with family and friends. But at the end of it, you do have to remove the sort of compost from the bokashi, or bokashi, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. And it's a difficult one. So it's not something I've actually come in contact with, but I've just heard a good bit about it. So it's worth looking into, but you will have to remove the waste and sort of compost waste at the end. So it's a harder one. It would require some sort of research and looking into it. So
yeah, but I suppose you could use, so you get like this liquid which is a bit like a nutrient tea for your plants.
Yeah, it'll be full of nutrients for your plants, because when the food starts to break down, you've got this beautiful nutrient-rich liquid left over that would need to be used elsewhere. Lots of people grow plants and different things on their balconies, so you could use it there, or you could give it to somebody else. So
yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think lots of people would be looking for that. And tell me about the share scheme as well. How does that work?
Okay, so ShareWaste.ie. They put people, you log onto it, and you can be like a giver of waste or a taker of the waste. So say I have my big garden here and I've got loads of different composters going on, and I never have enough because I'm a small household, say I'm a small family. I can connect with people in my local area, and they can bring their kitchen compost to me. So I can take people's in. So you connect with a few people in your locality. Or else, if I was, say, living in an apartment, I could connect with somebody and share waste, and I could bring my garden green and browns to them. So yeah, it's like a barter system, kind of, in a sense. You can bring, and then maybe you could give your kitchen waste to somebody, and they could give you some compost back. So it's a way for people that don't have access, even maybe to a brown bin, who live in a small dwelling or an apartment dwelling, to bring their kitchen waste on a weekly basis to somebody in their local area with a compost bin. So it's www.sharewaste.ie.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so it's a really good one. Yeah,
that's
quite big in the city.
Yeah, especially I think there are so many people who live in an apartment who think that they
Yeah,
can't do anything about this. They've tried their
yeah,
lobbying their management company. The management
yeah,
company are not interested because they say everyone else is going to not use it properly. And yeah, you
yeah,
go round and round in circles. But yeah,
yeah.
I think those are some really great tips, and you can pick one of those and see.
Yeah, there's definitely ways around everything. The brown bin in a big building can be a bit of a bone of contention because the bins they use in big apartment blocks are usually 1,100 litre bins, you know, the big ones on the wheelies. And if you've got a brown bin like that, it can become quite smelly and stinky, and different people are putting in different things. So brown bins can be hard to manage when you're with a larger group of people. But you could lobby your management company or get together with a group of residents in your building, like-minded people, and then maybe have a residents meeting with everybody to install a brown bin, because it is a good way for a large place to figure out their food waste. And it could be collected on a weekly basis or every 2 weeks. So it is a good idea, but it would require a bit of work, and I suppose the desire to want to have a brown bin for your building. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But I think sometimes the other individual actions are nearly easier to do. Something
yes, it could be, yeah,
well, that's brilliant. Okay,
yeah,
well, we will share those links and everything with everyone.
brilliant,
And tomorrow we are going to talk about what if you have a compost bin in your garden, maybe you're not using it, and see what we can do there. So we'll talk to you then.